Thank you, David King. I
Thank
was
you,
expecting
sir.
to hear the implication or the cause of the estrangements that we see happen in families and in relationships. You know, how easy it is for people to say that I don't want anymore, I am done. I don't know if you've ever heard that. It's up to here. It's up to here. I no longer can take it, and I want to just take a leave. You know, is it as easy as being said, or are there implications even upon the person who is actually wishing that it's time for me to leave this relationship? I'm sure it comes with some emotional burdens. I also know that it has some societal, criticisms and some other weights that come with it. It's not just as easy as that, and some other responsibilities beyond just saying, I am done. I don't know what your thoughts are on those.
Absolutely. You're absolutely correct. We also live in a time where there's a lot of influence on our marriages, where a lot of times it even goes beyond the things that we personally desire as individuals. Influence and expectations from, everything that is happening around you. I was talking with someone yesterday in counseling, and I realized that the major reason why, for him, he didn't see any reason why he should get married to this lady, a lady that he was in a relationship with. Everything was pointing to the fact that the two of them were not cut out to be together. Not because anybody was right and the other person was wrong. But the fact that the two of them, it's like putting a square peg in a round hole. There was so much disparity between the two of them. And the only reason why he was going on in this marriage was because he was concerned about what people would say, what people would think. And then you could see that external influence, even though he knew within himself that he was making the wrong decision. But he was so concerned about what people would say, what people would think, and all of that. Flip the coin the other way around. We also live in a time where a lot of people are, of course, concerned and influenced by external forces, whether it's parenting and all of that. Parents will wake up and tell you, you have to leave, pack your load, leave. Where friends also has that influence and all of that. And, there's a lot of hard work that comes into marriage. And permit me to say this, as sad as it may sound, a lot of us are lazy when it comes to handling the work that comes with marriage, the responsibility that comes with marriage. Now, it takes a lot for me to own up that I'm wrong, to walk up to my wife and to tell her I am sorry. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. It takes me dropping my shoulders, which every man has. I call it our natural shoulder pad. Ego. Every man has it. It takes me dropping my ego to size and walking up to my wife and say, sweetheart, I said something I shouldn't have said. I am terribly sorry. Pardon me, forgive me for what I did or what I said to you. It takes a lot from a man to do that. But this is the work that comes, or this is the responsibility and the work that comes with marriage. And that's why I tell people, I say, marriage is not for children. So at times you find situations where husband and wife have a misunderstanding, and then for weeks, they are not talking to each other, and they're in the same house. No, unacceptable. We don't do that. It is not the proper thing to do. But you see, I can excuse those who do it. Because you see, these are some things that we do because we have not come to terms with where we are. We have not come to terms with the fact that I have a responsibility to my partner. I have a responsibility to myself. And so, These are things that we are supposed to begin to do. One of the other things that marriage does is that now when you are single, let's assume now when I was a single person, as I earn my salary, I'm just thinking about, okay, what am I going to do? I need to change my shirt. I need to do this. I need to do that for myself. I need to save. I have this I'm planning for, and all of that. All I'm thinking about is myself. When I get married, I don't think that way. I've stopped thinking about me, myself, and I. I'm now thinking about us, my wife and I. And so one of the things that marriage does is that it takes away selfishness. It takes away self, where I'm all about myself, and it introduces the other person who you are able to share your life with. Now, if you begin to say, "Oh, okay, I don't like marriage. I want to get back to when I was single," you are trying to run back to that life that reinforces selfishness, where all you are going to be thinking about is you, yourself, and that's it. Those are one of the costs or implications of separation and divorce. Another thing is, at times, I tell people that the fact that you divorce your partner or you are separated from your partner does not mean that your partner was completely in the wrong. A lot of times, separation and divorce stops us from owning up to the fact that we were the ones who needed the change, who needed the transformation, were the ones who were the problem, who were the reason why the marriage did not succeed. But if we don't acknowledge that fact and we just run, I don't want to do this any longer. You see, one of the things that is very common on the divorce table is that people hardly own up to their faults. You always see the accusing finger. Oh, he did this, or he didn't do this. Oh, she did this, or she didn't do this. Nobody looks at themselves and say, I am the problem. It is very rare for you to find someone who is actually divorcing their partner who sees themselves as the cause or as one of the causes of the problem. And we need to get to that point in our lives where we can begin to take responsibility. Your partner cannot be all wrong while you are all good. It takes two to make a marriage work. I sing it as a song. It takes two to make a marriage work. I found a situation where someone was telling me that I'm the reason my marriage is succeeding. I told her, I said, you are doing it wrong. One person cannot carry the weight of a marriage. If you try it, one day it's going to crush on you. It's going to collapse on you.
33 people.
So all of these, yes, please. So from my angle, I would say that there are so much weight when it has to, even on the children, because a lot of time people just separate and all they are thinking about is themselves, what they want for themselves, and it's okay to be selfish. But remember that when you came in as husband and wife, you brought in children along the line, and you're about to destroy their lives based on that separation. Statistics have shown, even in countries that are way ahead of some other countries, first world countries, statistics have shown that children that grow up out of divorced home, they stand a better chance of living wayward lives, backward lives, lives that end up in failure, and a lot of them end up in prison, a lot of them end up dead, a lot of them end up in drugs and all of that. The children are also part of the marriage, and we cannot disregard this fact. So all of these are also effects and consequences of breakups. Somebody says, okay, should I just stay there and die? Well, that's another issue altogether. But in some cases, like I said, some of us are very weak when it has to do with managing conflict, managing our marriage, that it has not even gotten to a situation where anybody is raising a hand on you or anybody is raising their fist on you. You just want to take off. And this season, marriages are so weak. And I think we should change that ideology so that marriages can gain some more strength. Thank you so much.